What is up, comic book fans? Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on the local comic podcast. This is a little bit of a public service announcement that what you're getting ready to watch does and will contain spoilers. We are talking about new releases, we are talking about books that have not been out very long, probably. And so, if you are reading any of these series that we're talking about, they'll be listed in the description below. And you do not want spoilers, if you're not caught up, just give us a pause, go read that book, and come back and hang out with us. Otherwise, buckle up and let's talk some comics.
What is up, comic book fans? Thank you so much for coming back to the local comic podcast. We are back again, and we got a book this week, fresh off the absolute draft, which I hope you all enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with it. There was some craziness that happened with it. So, yeah, it was overall a pretty good time. How you feeling, my man? A week removed. Are you feeling good about your draft picks?
I still like my picks, but I'm still upset that the main plan didn't come to fruition. So,
Well, I think the one thing that we can all be sure of is the book that came out this week kind of got shafted in the draft. Let's just be honest. Um, it, it,
hey,
it,
you picked it last.
I know.
And that's why I was hoping you'd have picked it like first, and then I would have gotten everything I wanted
It
correctly.
deserved it. It deserved it. I just needed to lock down Flash. So yeah, we will get into that. So for those of you who are keeping up and are kind of staying on top of the universe, Absolute Superman #5 dropped this week. It is mostly completely set on Krypton and just a wild ride. I think I texted you about 10 pages in and was just like, dude, dude, this is
Dude,
so good. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But before, as always, I haven't even done the intros. But if you're listening to us by now, you probably know who we are. But as always, it is me, Travie, TrekWars. Always got my ride or die over here, Mr. Phil, Mr. Rebel Recess. How you doing, buddy? How was your week?
if anyone remembers, if you remember, I was starting spring break our last video, recording. So I'm at the tail end of it. Gotta go back to school tomorrow, and I am feeling it. I staying up too late. I need another week to recover now. I just can't do it anymore.
You can't get used to that staying up late every night life.
No.
You gotta get up too early in the morning though. See, I don't have to get up that early.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, and I gotta have my sleep. If I don't have my sleep, I can't function.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Any good books this week? Did you get anything interesting?
Ooh, what did we get this week? So we had that first redhead come out, first full appearance, I guess. Transformers 18, I think it is.
Yep.
Obviously Absolute Superman. Um, Legacy of Vader 2. I'm intrigued by that. It's the only stuff in the new trilogy I'm kind of care about. And there was one other. Oh, and then I got the Batman Adventures Batgirl
Uh-huh. The
facsimile first Harley Quinn appearance.
Was that a foil?
I did not get a foil. I just got the regular. There was a
Uh,
foil, but I just got
ugh,
the regular.
good. Good. I'm glad they made it a regular. I hate it when they only make a foil.
Yeah, I'm not crazy
It's
about all the foils either.
yeah, it's not been my favorite thing. I picked up a couple things and you were there to see me do it. You actually came to
Yeah.
hang out for the old lunch break one day this week since you were not doing a whole heck of a lot on Thursday. So we went and got some delicious a succulent Chinese meal.
The best. I even picked it up for dinner on the way home.
Oh, that's great. You ate it twice that day? That's great.
Yes. Oh, I didn't tell you. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, my wife is gonna want some, so why not? So let's do it.
Oh, that is fantastic. That's so cool. Yeah, so if nobody's gonna know this, but there's a certain Chinese place in our town where we grew up, and my man over here has a obsession with that.
Obsession. I don't even think is. It's an understatement.
But it is good stuff, and I'm someone who doesn't eat a lot of Chinese food, but I will always reconsider for that place. It's very good. But so yeah, you got to go to the shop with me and pick up a couple things. So we got New Gods #1, second printing. Love this cover, had to have it. Great book. And what did we say this was? Absolute Batman number 4. I have no idea what printing this is. I just grabbed it, but I like this cover.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't know. There's too many
Number
to
4.
count.
Yeah, yeah. Issue 4. That's got to be like the second or third
Yeah,
printing,
okay, yeah,
probably.
number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. That
And then of
almost looks
course
like the new cover A of the next book if you take a quick glance.
it kind of does. You just like
Okay,
one of those. And
yeah,
I'm like, oh, he's got
okay,
it early.
sure.
I got this week's book. Spoiler for this week's book. Amazing cover.
I love that cover.
It's so good. This book is so good. And I have started to, like I think I mentioned it on the weekly wrap up, that I'm starting to just buy these now. I'm starting to just buy these number one printings, these printings of Transformers number one, because it's going to 11 now. So I'm just going to start buying them because they're going to eventually get scarce. So these print runs are going to go down eventually.
Yeah.
And plus at this point I've already gotten like 8 of the 11, so I might as well just complete the set. But they also shout out to Robert Kirkman for another hit. It looks like Void Rivals number one went to an 11th printing as well.
It's
And then
insane.
it's crazy. And then obviously Transformers 17 and Transformers 18. So I've been up on the Transformers. This is a great series. Daniel Warren Johnson is unbelievable. Perfect writer for that series. So yeah, excited about it. So that was my haul this week. I have taken a break, small break from tracking down Swampies.
I think there was Swamp Thing 37 was a facsimile was out this week as well.
Yeah, I won't buy it. I won't buy it until I have the real one. And when I have the real one, I'll buy the facsimile, but I will not buy
Such
the
a sweet
facsimile.
cover.
It's great. It's great. It's so good. So the reason is, and you're aware of why, I sort of retargeted my sites for a couple of weeks trying to track down a certain book.
This man is out of control. It's out of control.
And there happens to be one about an hour from where I am and about what, 5 minutes from you? I mean, not 5 minutes, but it's like
10.
it's
No
like
traffic.
10.
10.
Yeah, it's not far. It's close enough to be like, oh, we're here already.
Yeah.
But there's a shop local to us that had one listed online. I put in an offer on it, but I got no response. So
They know what they got, bro. They ain't listening for anything a
it wasn't a
dollar
great
less.
offer. It wasn't a great offer. Not my best attempt at actually getting the book, I gotta say. But it is a very rare variant. That if you go looking for it now, you might find 2 on eBay right now today.
I'd be
Um,
embarrassed to go in there and say, "Hey, can you respond to that crappy offer?" Like,
you should have.
unfortunately, I know the guy. I'd be embarrassed. They might not let me come back.
Oh well, at least they got multiple locations. They'll probably put your picture up somewhere in
Oh my
all the
goodness.
shops.
This
You'll be on
guy's
the
banned due to this offer, and then everyone who walks by will see it. Like, yep, we get it.
this guy's banned due to his buddy's terrible offer on our books.
Uh,
But yeah, no, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna get that book. It's an absolute grail book for me. It's one of the coolest covers ever. You've seen it.
it's
It's a
an awesome
start.
cover.
Oh, it's perfect. But it is so hard to find because, like I said, those IDW series, those retailer incentives, grab them if you see them, and then they're cheap because they get expensive eventually, and then you end up like me trying to get one 10 years later. So I'm taking a break from the Swampy, the Rights and Wall, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna pick back up. If I can't lock down that book I'm looking for right now, it's gonna be back at it again for the Swamp Thing wall, which I can always find those. They're always out there. So but anyway, so yeah, that's what I got. I think we've got Hush 2 starting soon. Eh,
Indeed.
eh. I'm excited. I've heard good things. I've heard so things, but I haven't heard anybody say it's like flat out bad or anything like that. But I love Hush. I love the
I love
original.
Hush.
It was great. It was a great run. I mean, it was. I think we had a conversation. I think people look back on it more fondly than originally, maybe. Or maybe it's kind of hyped more now than it was then. I mean, it was a pretty big deal then, but I think in retrospect, people are really they really look back on it, and it's a really good Batman story. Like it's one of the good ones, like one of the really good ones. Is it like the best all-time great Batman story? No, probably not. But it was big and it felt big, because it was so much incorporation of so many characters. Um, it was a great, great, great story. So I love Hush. It's one of my favorite Batman stories. But yeah, so that's kind of where I think it's gotten in the last several years, where I think it's getting to the point where some people are like, it's moving towards like, Hush isn't good at all. It's like, no, it's good. It's good. You know,
Yeah.
like, is it again? If you put Hush and Court of Owls in front of me, which one am I going to read? I'm going to read Court of Owls probably.
Oh yeah, I'm
Right.
taking the court.
Right. Yeah. Or if you put Hush and Long Halloween in front of me, I'm going to take Long Halloween. Like there are better Batman stories, but it's a
It
great
it's
story.
it still would get drafted just at the bottom of our draft probably.
Yeah, it might end up like Absolute
Like
Superman.
Superman did. And it was my ploy to get Flash.
Your Floyd to get Flash, and I ended up with Tom Brady.
Golly.
In the sixth round.
That's
Oh my God,
crazy.
I
Oh,
love it.
that's sickening.
Oh man. Well, I don't have anything else on the jump off here. So, is there anything else you want to cover before we jump into this?
No, let's get into it.
All right, probably shorter episode today, folks, because we ain't got a lot of news and we're both tired and we got a race to watch here in a couple hours. So
Boogity
we're
boogity.
yeah we're tired as it is. We're gonna be lucky to get through the race without falling asleep. So here we go. Let's do the rundown. All right, I haven't worked that part out yet, so we're still just jumping right into it. So it is obviously Absolute Superman week, and this will be the last week when we have a single book release. Everything else is going to be doubled up. So next week we've got Batman and is it Manhunter? We'll find out.
I don't know. We've changed
Yeah,
the schedule's been
yeah.
jacked from the start.
They keep changing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But from here on out, we should have two books releasing every time an absolute book drops. So I think that means we still have a free week. Um, so should be interesting to see what happens there. But enough of that. Let's talk about this and this amazing cover and this amazing finale. We also obviously did the draft last week, so this is my week to cover the book here. So we're going to talk about Absolute Superman #5. I'm going to do a little blurb reading here, and then we're going to really get into it. So before we go any further, just so everybody knows, spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. We're going to cover this book in detail. We are going to go over a lot of the events that happen in this book. So if you ignored the first spoiler warning at the beginning of the video, this is your last one. I can't help you after that. I can lead you to water, but I can't hide you from spoilers forever. So here we go. I think that's how the saying goes. All right. Finale to Ad Astra per Aspera dropped this week, and it most certainly did not disappoint. Set primarily on Krypton, during its final hours, readers are given a look into the chaotic last breath of the planet and its people. I'm proud of that. I think that was a very nice little synopsis there. So yeah, this is it. This is the book. This is when we're finding out what's happened on Krypton. And so it when the book starts out, we're literally starting out 6 years ago. That's another interesting thing I think about the timeline here is that Krypton blew up 6 years prior to Kal coming to Earth. So Kal was obviously already pretty grown. And on the Krypton flashbacks, he was pretty. He was like I don't know, 11, 12. I don't know how old he was. But he was youngish. So this Kal that we're getting has a very clear memory of his life on Krypton, and it is, it sticks to him. He remembers everything. So basically, it starts out just showing us kind of Krypton in turmoil. After Lara and Jor-El told everyone that the planet was dying, the Science League obviously made them public enemy #1 and sent the Law Guild after them, and they were trying to basically apprehend them, keep them from getting off the planet. Lara continued to kick some ass and blow some people up. It's pretty cool. I have to ask you about this. Did you have the oh my god moment when we got another dump mobile in this book?
Yes, I did. Yes. Absolutely.
it looks exactly like Bruce's. I mean, it's a little bigger, but it looks exactly like Bruce's.
Yeah, I wonder if like if that was like intentional or just happened coincidentally.
It's crazy. So they get into what very much looks like a large portion of like the front part of it, at least. It looks like a Kryptonian transfer truck, but the front part of it looks almost identical to Bruce's
Mm-hmm.
Batmobile that we have in Absolute Batman, which I thought was kind of wild and crazy. Um, but it goes back and covers what we had covered a couple issues ago about how the Science League already knew all about this. It talks about how they hid it from everybody and tried to come up with their own escape plan. And then this is all being told from Cal's point of view. Cal talks about how riots are happening. There's destruction all over. People are killing each other, and he said he doesn't know what's worse is how Kryptonians abuse their homeworld or what they did to each other in those final couple hours, which is a pretty this book was heavy. This was a heavy book. There was a lot of like really somber moments in this book. That's why I think like I said, I texted you after like 10 pages and I was like, dude, this book is a lot. It's really good. So we end up back at the Red Fortress of Solitude, and Lara is trying to figure out a way to squeeze more people onto their ship that they've built to get people off of the planet. They don't have time, and so they've got quite a few people there. And before they're leaving, you get this really beautiful spread of Cal and Crypto looking out at the planet as it's kind of just exploding from the inside and green everywhere. Um, After that point, though, we flash back to the future. We only get like really two present day moments in this book. Everything else takes place in the past, and the first one is you just see this cloud of red dust coming straight to a Peacemaker outpost in Pakistan. It's just the whole place is surrounded by red dust, and these people are like, "Hold your positions." And he just shows up and just destroys tank after tank after tank, busts through a wall, beats the crap out of all these peacemakers, manages to not kill anyone still. His body count is still 0, I do believe. He hasn't killed a soul. Um, but we get more of the interaction between Cal and Soul. His what we find out is actually his spacesuit. Well, I mean we know that already, but
Right.
everybody got one apparently. Everybody has that spacesuit that was on the ship with Kara and Jor-El. So we get more of that interaction. Um, One thing I thought was interesting was is that he's trying to find Smith, the guy who shot all in the previous issue, the guy who shot all of the civilians, like kind of lost his mind when Brainiac sent him back out there. Um, he's looking for his location, and every time Soul tries to access databases to find his location, it finds that it's heavily encrypted, and it's heavily encrypted by Brainiac. And Soul says someone called Brainiac is attempting to infiltrate my systems. Um, and it says Brainiac is at a research and development facility in the Nevada desert, and it's filled with miniaturized alien cities stored in bottles, and there's people inside them who will not stop screaming. And I said, I knew it. I knew we saw the bottle cities. It looked like the bottle cities in the first issue or the last spread. I was like, there's more bottle cities there. That's so cool. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It says he wants to speak with you, and he's offering Smith's whereabouts, and then Cal just takes off, presumably to go talk to Brainiac. So we go back in time, back to Krypton, and we find out that the ship is actually the way they all got their spacesuits is the ship actually bonds with these Kryptonians, and so everybody on the ship bonds with this ship, and they're getting their new spacesuits. It's like kind of covering them, kind of like Soul does with Cal, and we get a moment, kind of a sweet moment, where um, Kara and Jor-El are they're talking and they're looking for Cal because they can't find him, and they're screaming his name. And Crypto, being the good boy that he is, barks at him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know, I'm coming." But he wanted to get that last handful of red dust from Krypton, from the Redlands. Um, at that time, though, the ground falls out from under him. He almost dies, and the goodest of good boys, Krypto, grabs him and saves his life. I do love. There's a little moment there where he said I had to write it down. I said I like to think that in those final hours there were some Kryptonians somewhere out there who are fighting to help each other, and it wasn't just one boy being saved by his dog. And so it was just a cool moment. Crypto's awesome, and just he's having his moment, and I love it because we're getting it everywhere, and we should because he's an amazing character. Um, we get a look into some of the brutality that people are experiencing all over Krypton, where Kandor is in full riot. People are tearing the place apart. And he talks about how if we had all worked together, more people would have been saved. And um, unfortunately, because there was so little heads up, not even one ship got off. Not one ship left Krypton that day. They were all destroyed as the planet, sort of exploded from the inside out, and at least not from the cities. He said, but he did mention. He said, "Okay, we were on the ship, and for the first time in a long time, a calmness felt over me. I felt hope, and about that time is when stuff started to hit the fan. A massive piece of green, what I assume is some kind of kryptonite. That looks like kryptonite, probably is kryptonite. But this massive piece of green rock comes flying through, absolutely obliterates the House of El ship, and everybody is thrown out into the sky. But these awesome spacesuits create little mini rocket ships for everybody all around them, and even Crypto. And the first thing I thought of was, and I know they didn't kill Crypto.
Because he didn't have a suit.
I was so mad for about 20 seconds. I was just sitting there like, I don't even want to turn this page right now. I swear to God, if Jason Aaron killed Crypto, I'm out. I'm out. I'm gone. But sure enough, Crypto had a little ship, and it was really kind of a funny moment. Like Cal's freaking out and looking around screaming for mom and dad, and he looks over to his left, and Crypto's in his own little ship, just like. It's just like that was a cool moment, and dude, bro's just chilling in the front seat. But they say, hey, we're here with you, but you start to notice that a lot of these ships are getting destroyed by the explosion. A lot of them are getting caught in the crossfire of all this debris that's flying through the air and getting destroyed. They say, we're with you always, and then I kind of paraphrase this last little bit here. It says the legacy of Krypton will be that no matter the history or the power of science or the depth of love, it can all go away, every last speck of it, in an instant. And when it says in an instant, everything is this really beautiful backdrop of the planet exploding, and one ship making it out of the green clouds surrounded by these large green chunks. And he's screaming, "Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Anyone?" So it looks like he is the only one that made it off the planet. So if they did kill Crypto, I'd be pretty aggravated.
It's not going to be fun.
It's not going to be fun. So he gets off. He gets off the planet. Obviously, he's screaming, looking for anyone. Hoping that someone survived. We flash forward to the second present day moment, and he lands in this big open area, just a cloud of dust, and it's him and Soul talking, and Soul is saying, "Cal, what are you doing? I told you we were close to uncovering the location of Smith." He said, "I don't want to know where he's hiding. I'm done." And he said, "I'm afraid of what'll happen if I do get my hands on him. And right now, I just need to be alone, and I need to be reminded of home." And the very last spread is him with the cape all around him, walking past the sign, Smallville, Kansas, 10 miles ahead at Astra Perispera. Finn, that is the end of the arc, and so satisfying. It was a great, great, great issue. I was so thrilled with it. I absolutely loved it from start to finish. Still, if he kills Crypto, Jason Aaron, I'm so angry with you. But I don't believe that that's happening. Obviously, I think there will be some survivors. But overall, this was a fantastic finale, and probably my personal favorite of the first five. This maybe the other one. Both of the books with heavy Krypton backstory were the best books. I think I cared very little about the real time story versus the backstory issues. I loved the time we spent on Krypton here. So those two issues are hands down my favorite issues. This was probably probably more favorite because this one felt heavier. It felt like there were some serious stakes here, and for me, this was the best of the bunch of the first arc. I'm glad that everybody's keeping to the 5 arc thing or 5 issue arc thing. So that's nice. It's a nice little clean wrap of the first run. And now we're getting the new books coming in. Probably have some shorter or different length arcs. So that's cool. But overall, for me, I'm gonna give it my rating, and then I want to know what you thought about it. But for me, this is a 5. This is a 5. This book it's you maybe could say 4.5 if he kills Crypto, but this is a 5 otherwise. And and that's it for me. Like I said from the beginning, this book did not deserve to be the last pick of the draft. I said that when we drafted.
Well, that's your fault. You should have taken it number 1.
If I had, I wouldn't have Flash. I want Flash.
Well, I don't want to hear it then.
But this is certainly just a fantastic end to that first arc. So I like this. This is a home run book for me. I loved it, every bit of it. What say you, my man?
I don't want to give it a 5. I'll go 4.5. Go 4.5 because I knew Krypton was coming to an end. It didn't throw me anything I didn't know. And it still just hasn't advanced the other story yet. So I'm still wanting to know, what are we doing, Superman on Earth?
Right.
But it did present the next thing at the end with him returning to Smallville.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. I mean, we finally get to see. This is probably the end. We're probably not going back to Krypton. I do agree with what you said. The Krypton books are the best because I think we talked about it. I think the strength of this has been showing us, and you said it for a little bit, for how Cal is a boy on Krypton, and we've never gotten. He's always a baby and escaped. So I think seeing him as a boy and experiencing Krypton makes his character better, adds more to it, more dynamic. So yeah, so I think it's a great issue, but I won't give it a 5. But it was fantastic, and I want to, because now we're Smallville. Maybe we're gonna tie up that loose end of the one issue where
I think it was the other Krypton issue. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was. It was the end with her doing things. So it parallels. It's perfect. So I think yes, we're gonna see what is actually happening because we're still completely lost on that.
Yeah, present day. I truly have no idea what's happening present day. And I think
idea.
if there was one drawback to these first 5 issues is that I feel like we've had 5 issues. 3 of the 5 have been set in present day, and I feel like I have no clue what's going on.
Well, and everything on present day has been. We have more Lois point of view. Like, there's not a whole lot of Soup's point of view on these issues.
He's been gone. I mean, he literally hasn't been visible very much, and he was in the first issue a decent bit. Second issue, not at all. And then, obviously, the Krypton issue, he's very visible. But this present day, we haven't seen him very much at all. But hey, maybe that's the point. I think.
Oh yeah, it's a plan. I ain't gonna hate on him, but
yeah. I maybe this is that building of that sort of if they intend on Superman being that godlike Superman that he is in the Prime Universe, then we're building that character. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas Wonder Woman is here, she is exactly what she is, and Bruce to an extent is pretty much what he is, right? But we're seeing this kind of slow development of if they are building him into that kind of godlike Superman that we're used to. They are. It seems like that's maybe how they're trying to do it. I don't know, but I do think it's really cool. And I was thrilled with the way it ended. I said it from the beginning. I was like, I just want more Krypton. I just all I want. Like, it's so good. It sucks because this version of Lara was it was the best version we've ever had of her, and we only got 2 issues of her.
So do we think everyone? I mean, not everyone can be dead, right? There's got to be some survivors.
No, yeah, I would think
with
so.
the suits, that's going to come into play.
Right, and
Someone
Crypto has to
survived.
survive. So
We have the other little boy on the ship. It could be someone
yeah,
that pops up. So
yeah.
it does present a lot of ifs.
Well, and again, I thought it was pretty. I thought they made it pretty plainly clear in that earlier issue that several of them had already left.
Yes, I think so too.
I,
That
I
they had
thought,
there was some the high ups had already planned on it and were out.
yeah, like I heard that they were like I thought we read that they were gone,
Right.
like they had been gone. So
But they wouldn't have suits, right? The suits thing
no,
is only the from what his parents made. So
yep. So the only people that would have those suits would be, um,
the people who survived with him and they'd
yep,
be able to match his power,
yep.
possibly.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that if the sun rules, and it seems like they do, if the sun rules still apply, so the red sun obviously gives him his
Right.
power, right? If those still apply, then those people would be strong, but they wouldn't have the advantages of him having soul and everything else. So,
Right. Yeah.
um, so uh, I think I love the idea of soul, and here's the reason I love it. I think soul, and maybe this is not a crazy thought, it just hit me, you know, in the Prime universe, he has the Fortress of Solitude. Um, that is where all of that inside that database of information is for him, where he learns,
Right.
where he's. I think Soul, at least from what I've seen from the beginning, is it. I think that is it.
It's
Soul,
the upgrade. It's
solitude, right? Like
it's
Soul,
not the
solitude, right?
desktop. It's not the desktop computer anymore. He's got his
Right.
Apple iPhone and he takes his computer with him. That's
it's
basically what it is.
it's yeah, it's the mobile version of the Fortress of Solitude, and
Right.
it's because it's very intelligent. It's highly intelligent, and um, yeah, it makes me. I think that might be kind of the new version of this, and if that is a take, if this is kind of his new Fortress of Solitude, you know, maybe I love that idea. I love that take. I love changing something like that because that is a very integral part of Superman. So we're talking about changing some of these key things that we're seeing with these characters. That's one that you feel like you can change without raising the stakes too much or without really pissing anybody off, but making it a really cool change that I think is beneficial for the character. So if that is what they're doing, and that's kind of the vibe I've been getting the last couple times we've seen Soul interact with Cal. Um, that might be it. Like it may be like a, a Fortress of Solitude on wheels, the dump mobile. But
Yeah.
so, but yeah. So you like the book? Happy with the ending?
Happy, good book. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the ride of Superman.
Yeah, thrilled. Thrilled, thrilled, thrilled. All right, well, let's move on to the release schedule. So, I fixed it. I fixed it, everybody. So, for the release schedule, which was really derped up, very sorry, but they had made a lot of changes from the initial announcements. So, um, Absolute Batman, which we said was going to drop this week, did not drop this week. It was only Absolute Superman. It seems like they had bumped everything. Um, and so now we have Absolute Batman on this coming week on the 19th, along with New Gods number 4 and Absolute Flash number 1. So we will get 2 books next week, and each of us will have one of them. So that will be fun. Um, After that, we have Absolute Wonder Woman number 6 coming out on the 26th, and Absolute Martian Manhunter number 1 coming out on the 26th.
Double duty for your boy.
Double duty for my man over here. Excited, excited, excited for that. And then the next week we have Absolute Superman number 6 and Absolute Green Lantern number 1 coming out on April 2nd. So double duty for me. Only one split week. How did we do that?
Worked out.
We could have perfectly split these down the middle so that we each only had to do 1 book per week, but no, no.
Someone wanted
So,
to take Flash.
that would have been on schedule.
Yeah, to have Batman and Flash at the same time.
Yep. Oh man. But yeah, so then after that we circle it back around, and Absolute Batman number 7 starts on April 9th. So, all that being said, buckle up. It starts this week. This is it. The universe is expanding. And I am thrilled. So really excited to tear into Absolute Flash number 1. Excited to get our finale to the first Absolute Batman arc, going into Mr. Freeze next month. It's just there's so many cool things happening, and I'm very excited about it. And I can't wait to see the Mad Hatter in this coming issue of Batman number 6, because I'm going to get a shirt that says Travis was right.
Hey, well, me too. Not just you.
But if it is the Joker, I'm gonna feel really stupid for sitting on here on
No,
YouTube.
we can't be that dumb trying to just go against the grain here.
So yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to it. So looking forward to seeing the Mad Hatter in the Absolute Universe. This is great. Um, but yeah, New Gods 4, I'm including those because obviously there are things that are going to matter. I need to read Aquaman because I saw the cover for Aquaman number 3 this week, and it's literally Aquaman with Darkseid's face. It looks crazy, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh no, add another book.
Yeah, like apparently Aquaman. I haven't even caught up with this or read up to this, but Aquaman and Darkseid are doing something right now, and I'm not caught up, so I've got to figure that out. And I'm like, man, come.
You read and just catch me up. But I'll read New Gods because I'm into New Gods. I'm into it.
New Gods is a great book just by itself. It hasn't really mentioned anything with the Absolute Universe yet. It has implications, but it's just been a good book. It's been fun with all these different characters and characters that don't really get a lot of shine in the DC universe. By the way, the Jenny Frison has a big Barda variant coming out, and it looks it looks amazing. Jenny Frison drawing Big Barda, I'm here for it. So yeah, I would ask you what you're excited for, but I know you're excited for all of them.
All of them, definitely. But I'm that Batman number 7 at the end. I'm definitely excited for Batman number 7.
You ready for the Mr. Freeze?
I'm almost like, forget the zoo. Let's just hop right into the freeze.
And it's only a 2-issue arc.
It's
only a 2-issue arc.
Insanity.
Yeah.
So they got to be big. They got to be big for just 2 issues. It's got to be just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get supersized issues. That would be nice. If you're not gonna give me a full arc, then give me some bigger issues or something. Yeah. Come on, Scott. Come on. All right. Well, I'm excited about them all. There hasn't really been a big misstep at all here. I know everybody has their own favorites, and that's great. But for me, they've all been really, really, really good. So it's been great. Sorry. I told you we're tired. I told you we're tired.
Gotta keep it alive.
That's right. So, without further ado, we only have one news slide today, so let's move to the news, and we'll get you all out of here a little bit quicker this week. So, all right, there you go. There's your news thing. All right, so let's talk about what we got on the aftermarket, and lo and behold, we have a book back on the aftermarket top 20 list at coverprice.com. All In Special just comes back again and again and again. We got a top sale, slab 9.8 for $120. So shout out to DC All In Special for keeping on. It's great. This is cool. I love seeing this book continue to pop up. I know that we did the giveaway of the signed one, and I found out this week that one is being sent to CGC for grading. So, yeah. So I'm excited to see what that comes back as. So, yeah, looking forward to see that. And
we haven't really talked about this cover because there's 2 sides of it. There's the absolute side. There's side. I love this cover only because of how Booster Gold is standing. Like, just look at him. Like, everyone else is so like admirable and whatever, and he's like, yeah, this type of guy.
I'm telling you, if we do not see Booster Gold show up,
I need him
in the next 6 to 8 months. I'm going to make a T-shirt instead of Travis was right. Is just going to say, "Where's Booster?"
Where's Booster?
And then just have the star underneath it. Where's Booster?
God, give me my man back.
I know, where is my guy? Because the whole All In Special, for those of you who haven't read it, and if you haven't read it, what are you doing? It's been out forever now. It's all based around Booster. He's like the main, the whole thing.
It's him. It's just him.
So yeah, it's pretty wild. So yeah, that one came in at number 14 on the runners up list. Let's do what we always do because we have fun just talking about comics in general. How'd you do on the rest of it?
Is that Spawn still up there? I think that's the only one that's holding on for me is a Spawn 1.
No Spawn 1. No Spawn 1. All
Okay, so
we have Berserker #1 coming in at
oh,
number 1 this
you
week.
know what's crazy, Travis, is I don't have any of those, and there was a time where they were like everywhere
And
and
cheap.
cheap, and I'm like, I should buy it because it's Keanu, it's gonna go up, and I just never committed to it. Like, well, I'm an idiot. What am I
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, I didn't buy it
I mean,
either though.
they were in CGC slabs at stores, like they were just trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, why didn't I ever just buy for
Yeah.
20,
Don't
30 bucks?
yeah, don't buy it now. Don't
No,
buy it
don't buy
now.
them now. Don't do it.
Um one of my personal favorite books that I have in the collection because I just love um Doom. Secret Wars #2 from the later run, the 2015, I guess it is. Secret Wars.
I think I might have that one. I have the Galactus variant,
Oh
Marvel
yeah, the
Rivals.
Marvel Rivals. Yeah, there's two. That's 1 and 2 for me.
That's it. And the DCLM.
Yeah, and then the DC All In, that's 3, and then Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man makes it 4.
I gotta commit to buy that. I gotta do it.
You don't have the Daredevil that's on there, the Punisher Daredevil issue.
I don't think I do.
Oh,
No.
that seems like a book I would expect you to have.
Yeah, I should have it. It's a sweet cover.
Yeah,
Should be on the
yeah,
wall. What am I
yeah,
doing? I gotta step my
yeah.
game up.
I'm moving swiftly through Daredevil season 2, so this has been very exciting for me.
So
Yeah,
good. The
yes.
staircase scene was great.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. I just watched that one
So
last
it's so good.
night.
God, they know what they're doing.
Oh, continuous action shots in that show are so great. Oh my God. But yeah, so um did you see the Space Quest Mark Spears on that
Yeah,
list?
yeah.
Oh. Ah.
That's been on there a couple weeks straight now.
Yeah, I don't know why I like Space Ghost so much. I just do. Space Ghost is cool.
R.I.P. to my dude.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, so that's about it on that one there. And yeah, so I ended up with 4. You ended up with 3.
3. Yeah. I wish I had
That's a
that
solid
Invincible book
week.
too.
Oh, I know. All those Invincible books are killing me. We the issue I wrote about this week on the Shake Report was Invincible #100, and it was the Ryan Otley Comixology variant. I think it was limited to 500 or something like that. It went for big money, like $500 raw or something like that. I have several of the 100s, so I'm kind of like sitting on them until the next season comes out because I believe if I've calculated the episodes right, I believe this season is like issues 60 through like 80. And
Yes.
so next season theoretically should be like issues 80 to 100 or something like
Right.
that. So hopefully after next season I can flip all those issue hundreds that I have several of the issue 100 variants that I got fairly cheap. I got them for like a couple bucks a piece last year actually. So they were right when
Wow.
it was a good deal. So I've got several of those. So hopefully I'm going to try to flip some of those. I don't have that Comixology one or I'd be flipping it yesterday. Yeah, but anyway. But yeah, so yeah, that's all for the top 10 in the aftermarket. And that, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, is all that we have today. That's it. We're keeping it light. We're keeping it short. 40 minutes. We're rocking and rolling.
But next
Um,
week's gonna be big.
next week's gonna be big. It's gonna be a long episode. We're gonna be in there. Um, yeah. So, final thoughts. What you got going on this week?
Well, we did mention it. If you missed it, go back and watch our last week's episode to watch our draft, just to see how that all played out.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was fun, but not fun. Uh, and then this week what we got? I'm just ready to read some books. Got to get back to school. This final stretch. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
finish. We were talking about Invincible. I'm gonna finish the newest season. I'm down to the last 2
I,
eps.
not caught up on that either. I'm
Yeah,
about halfway.
man.
I'm about halfway through season 2 on that, and I decided that I wanted to watch Daredevil more. So I'm committing to Daredevil, and I will not decommit until I finish it.
Well, I don't hate
Uh,
that. So,
yeah, yeah. Hey, in my defense, I have done a lot of catching up over the last year, so
you
I,
still got a lot to do.
I know, but
Like
I'm getting there.
you
I'm
don't have
getting there.
time to be doing podcasts. It's time to get to watching stuff.
Sorry, guys, we're canceling the show
Yes, he's got to catch up.
until Travis catches up on TV. Um, So yeah, with all that, that should be fun. And yeah, anything else happening on your side this week?
No, that's it. You?
No, I mean the same stuff. Doing the shaker thing on Thursday. That article usually drops on Friday, but you can get at least 10 of the shakers on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. With the awesome crew there that does the shaker report for us on YouTube. What else? I'm gonna still be trying to track down that variant, so you'll probably get some more profanity laced texts from me about non-responses. I can't believe they didn't take this ass offer. We're going to see if we can get Phil to buy a $400 Batman TV. Um,
No. I'll
y'all,
give them.
hold on.
I'll give them 100 for it, but I'm not paying 4.
Okay, hang
That'd be
on.
so absurd.
I've got to show it. That's the thing. We got to show the Batman TV.
I've seen it come around several times. Tony always sends it to me anytime it makes an appearance.
Yeah, this is in our area. This is in our local area. This is an old CRT, and you can sort of see it there.
It's awesome, but I'm not
Yeah,
paying 4.
the remote control
The
is a
remote
batarang,
alone is just ridiculous.
and so apparently I sent this to him, and his uncle has already sent it to him several times, and this person is trying to get $400 for it. They might, but they're not going to get it from Phil. But maybe,
No.
maybe we could get him to spend $300 on
You
it.
know
So,
what else is also went
um,
around I've seen?
what?
The Charlotte Bobcats TV.
Oh, I've seen that too.
I have a
Yeah.
buddy who has one in college. His mother, I think, worked for the NBA in some way. And so she got one and he had one. If I saw one of those for 100, I would take it.
So if you guys think that Phil should throw an offer of $300 towards this guy, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and if we get 10 likes on this video, he has to put the offer in.
Just
So
like, share, subscribe, and type in what you think is a fair offer for the thing, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not guaranteed to do anything.
you do need a nice CRT for the gaming area. Uh,
This Batman one would be cool. Even if it's the crappy Batman, it's still Batman.
oh man, that's great. So, yeah, that's all I've got, man. I don't really have a whole lot happening this week. I'm just going to be catching up on some TV and some reading and doing all that jazz. So, yeah, if you didn't watch your last episode, go check it out. The draft was fun. It was a little different, something a little cool, a little fun. It got a little stressful there for a minute. Yeah, so we'll be back next week with 2 books for the first time in a minute, and we'll talk about the end of Batman, and we'll talk about the beginning of Flash. But otherwise, everybody have a great week. We'll see y'all next time.
Later.
Later.